Hi, everybody, and welcome to 4 Minutes with Vector Firm, where I invite a guest. Our guest has a question on either sales or sales management. I answer the question. By the way, I don't know what the question is yet. I answer the question, and then they provide an answer to the question as well. We do all of this in 4 minutes or less. Today, my guest is Matt Hanley, Regional Vice President of Acre Security. Matt, how are you, man?
Man, I'm doing great, and thank you for letting me participate.
Oh, of course. Thanks for being here. So what's your question?
This is a two-part question, Chris, and it's a bit of a doozy. As you know, today's workforce may have the most generations participating at one time in history. Depending on who you ask, it's 4, 5, or 6. With the type of generation diversity that we currently have, how does sales leadership accommodate the differences as it pertains to technology and or generational sales techniques? Second part is it sales leadership's responsibility to adapt to 5 to 6 generations, or is it the employee's job to find relevance in the workforce?
So I'll go backwards. So the first one, sales leadership needs to adapt. And here's why, because history has illustrated that the generations win. it's just what's going to happen, right?
Right.
We've got a whole year worth of older people leaving in the next year. We have a whole year of younger people coming in. It's just what's going to happen. So sales leadership can say the right thing is for them to adapt and for them to learn about our world. And maybe that is the right thing to do. But the thing that is effective is for sales leadership to make that adaptation. And there's ways to teach them, such as, younger people need to know how to email because that is an accepted form of business communication today, and they don't email like they do text. But that's probably the only exception. Everything else, we've got to adapt to the younger generation. As far as managing the sales techniques for the various, the 4 to 5 to 6 generations, here it is, man. At the beginning part of a sales process, meaning the first, or buying process, meaning the first 50%, customers don't want to see salespeople anymore, period. Because as the younger generations, as the younger millennials and Generation Z, they have used this thing to communicate for their entire life. And now they got technology to do all their own research. Why see a salesperson? So we have to change the way we go after new customers today. We've got to figure out a way to present our expertise to customers and prospective customers without getting in the door and seeing them. And we've got to be able to do this. That's not digital marketing. That's part of it. I'm talking about as an individual sales professional. How do we make that impact on prospects that don't know us if they're not willing to see us? We got to figure that out. What's your answer? That is a doozy, by the way, and you got 50 seconds.
So yes, that's fine. So I align to all that. However, the piece that I'm fascinated with is the simple fact that they have so much information at hand. So I don't necessarily think they don't want to see salespeople. They don't need to see them early on. So as opposed to me going in there and throwing up a PowerPoint or explaining to them what access control is, today I'm going in there and talking about cybersecurity and cloud because they already know the access control piece. So I think it's a little bit different teaching, and 2, it's later in the sales cycle when I go to see them, whether I want it to be or not. So I agree with you, Chris.
That's exactly right. Whether you want it to be or not, that's just the way it is. We're no longer competing with just our competition. We're competing with Google. They need to say, you know what? I'm going to Google this or ChatGPT this. That's kind of complicated. I'll just call Matt. That's where we want to be. Awesome questions, man. And we knocked it out a little bit over 4 minutes, but not that much.
No, Chris, appreciate it, brother. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Matt. Take care, man.
All right. Bye-bye.